What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? Bad boys, bad. Oh, hey there, and welcome back to Real Hair Crimes here on the Babe Hair Extensions channel. My name is Courtney, and I am your detective and host. Now, this is a vlogcast for hairstylists from Hairstylists Behind the Chair, specifically with extension artists in mind. But if you're not an extension artist or a hairstylist behind the chair, you are still welcome to Crime Solve with us. We love having you along. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. We want to hear what you have to say. So you all know already that these are extension stories about, the good, the bad, and the crazy. And this is no exception. So let's dive in. This story starts out like this. You can give the person the keys to the castle. You can tell them, this is your castle. You need to love it, honor it, respect it. Make sure the bricks shine. This is your castle. And then you get to the castle and it is dilapidated. Case in point, this hair extension story. So I've been doing this lady's hair for about 5 to 6 years, and she's worn extensions that entire time. Very wealthy lady, has everything, and I mean legitly everything. All the brushes, all the maintenance aftercare, the shampoos, the conditioners, the combs, you name it, she has it. She has everything. But every once in a while, she loses her mind and she decides that she's not going to take care of her extensions at all. Now, this is brand new hair. And it was put in beautifully. And then she went on about a 6-week vacation to Europe and came back like this. Holy cow. So she comes in and she says, I think I have a knot. Oh yeah, girl, you got a knot. Did you see that? Holy crap. So again, this person has everything to take care of the hair extensions, and they're very well knowledgeable. I mean, they've been doing hair extensions for 5 to 6 years about what it is that it takes to maintain your hair extensions properly. Now, in this case, this was a hand-tied weft. So our hand-tied weft is a very thin band of hair that is all the hairs are braided onto it. So let me show you what that looks like here. So you can see that this is a nice thin piece of banding. It's almost like a braid. And then all of these hairs are literally hand tied onto this little braid. Okay, so when it comes back looking like that video, you have to wonder, what is the real hair crime here? And the real hair crime in this case is the lack of brushing. So when we give you maintenance ideas of hey, use this brush, this is how often you should be brushing, all of those things, those maintenance instructions should be followed. And in this case, the lack of brushing is definitely the real hair crime. Solve this crime? It's actually very simple. On a stylist end, we as extension artists, as stylists behind the chair, we need to ensure that we are following up and ensuring that they have all the extension aftercare that they need. Now, in this case, she did have all the extension aftercare. She just chose not to do it. So really, we need to be making sure that we're following up with each and every client and saying, hey, just wanted to check in on you. Hope your extensions are doing well. Is there anything that we can help problem solve? Kind of just maybe remind them occasionally that though you've been wearing hair extensions for a really long time, we're still making sure that you're following kind of our guidelines and all the things that we have put in place for you. On a client end, y'all, we have those instructions for a reason. Brush your hair. Otherwise, this does actually happen, and we see it, unfortunately, pretty often. So there is a really right way and really wrong way to brush your hair. So you have to do it. And let me show you how the right way to brush your hand-tied hair is. because it is a bit more finicky of an extension than a lot of our other extension methods, simply because this banded area, this little braided area, is actually very small and very delicate. So I have Petunia here again. Y'all remember Petunia? And she has some hand-tied hair in the back of her head. Now, remember our brush. Our Babe brush is awesome because it has those nylon bristles and the boar bristles to help detangle and glide across all extension points, okay? So with our, let me see if I can move her a little bit closer to us. And I'll just adjust this down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So with our hand-tied piece of hair, we want to take our brush and we want to kind of almost come at an angle across it. So we can kind of detangle and brush over those extensions. It is also advisable to maybe hold on to this banded area. That way you can really get into the hand-tied weft without causing any harm. So I like to hold the band here and then use my brush right across that. And you don't have to like yank down through it. We don't want you to do that at all. We want you to just kind of gently come right over those extension points, okay? So the reality is brushing is going to solve a lot of your problems because you are still shedding hair on a consistent basis. Just because you have extensions in doesn't mean that your hair isn't still shedding. So remember, you're shedding around 50, maybe to 100 strands per day. You need to brush the shed hair out. Otherwise, it gets trapped inside the extension method, whatever method it is. In this case, it was the hand-tied hair. It gets trapped inside of that and creates this nest of hair, this ratting, this matting and tangling of the hair. So make sure you're brushing and brushing well and brushing effectively. We do have a maintenance blog on the back of our extensions card that you get inside our maintenance kit. So if you want to snag a maintenance kit, remember we have a code from a couple videos ago that you should definitely use so you can get your hands on a maintenance kit. Inside that maintenance kit comes a brush, but I always recommend this brush to anybody regardless. That way they go home with the proper tool to detangle their hair. Okay, so real hair crime, lack of brushing. How to solve it? Brush the right way. Remember, the hand-tied hair is almost like a braid across the top. So if you rough into this braid, like I've got a braid here, so if you rough into this braid and just kind of yank the brush through it, what is going to happen? All of these little hairs are going to start coming loose and start kind of creating a nest within itself. So we really want to brush effectively and properly, again, coming over those attachment points. That way it releases all of the shed hair, it detangles any of the extension hair and your natural hair. Okay, so not everybody is like this. This guest decided to just, go rogue and do her own thing for 6 weeks without really caring for her extensions. It's not advisable. Make sure you're brushing the hair properly, which is why we give you all the things. Look, extensions are more of a luxury type service. And I don't care if you're investing $2, $200, $2,000 of your hard-earned money. We want you to have a successful experience with the hair extensions. So this is why we give you the instructions and the brushes and all the things, because we want this to be successful for you. Extensions are proven to build confidence, to solve a lot of problems, whether it be thinning hair or a color, whatever the case may be, and it really does help with your emotional and mental stability in a lot of cases. It gives us kind of a bit more of a feel-good moment, right? I always like to say in my classes, like, if your hair ain't right, ain't nothing else right. So if you wake up and you look in the mirror and your hair is like off, you are off for the rest of the day. So make sure that you're doing the right things to take care of your hair extensions. So in honor of this episode and the brushing incident here, we are offering 10% off of our original Babe brush. So remember, this brush has nylon and boar bristles, perfect for detangling any method, but in this case, we're talking hand-tied hair. So it detangles all methods, adds shine to the hair, and this is the only brush that you should be brushing with your extension method. So throw away all the other ones, use this one. And this can be used wet or dry. So you're gonna wanna use the code BRUSH10 for 10% off this little guy. Okay, BRUSH10. What crimes will we come up with next? You'll have to wait and see. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. And then also go to our Instagram at Babe Hair and our TikTok at Babe Hair for more laughs and learns. We'll see you next time, crime solvers.